Oh, hello. I'm so excited to chat with you both
Hi,
about UK
thanks.
versus the
Thank
world.
you.
The world has been anticipating this for so long, and it is finally here. I know you all are happy that you can finally be able to share this series with everyone across the world. So, super excited to chat with you both. Pangina, I'll start with you first because
Okay.
you are representing Thailand, and the Thailand series are kind of fan favorites across the whole Drag Race franchise. And because you're coming in as a first time competitor, as you're the co host of Thailand, how do you think that works to your advantage in this competition?
To my advantage, I would know a lot about fashion, definitely. And working with Arya in my co-host on the show, she is a fashion stylist and also a fashion designer.
Mm.
So when I was preparing for the show, she gave me all these fashion history lessons, all these textbooks, and she was like, "Learn them, know this. You have to know everything. You have to know what silhouette is. You have to know how to sew. You have to know everything." So I trained with her to become a seamstress, so that would be my advantage in terms of an understanding of what I could do with fashion and construction. But I didn't know any of that before knowing that I was casted. So I had to learn in a short amount of time.
Yeah, yeah. And Janey, for you, you were the runner-up, of course, for the first season of Holland, which was an iconic season. It gave me life during the first few
Thanks.
months of quarantine. So, what's something that you don't think you were able to accomplish on Holland that you think that you're able to accomplish on UK versus the world?
Well, definitely reaching a lot more people by not speaking Dutch and having a very complicated subtitle situation, which obviously a lot of people in the world are just not a fan of. We're very used to it in Europe because grow up with a lot of UK and the US television in general. Plus, I think I'm just able to show a lot more layers as well. In what I'm gonna do or what I did in Versus the World rather than I did in Drag Race Holland. Also because it was just a very different concept of what I wanted to do because it was the first show around. Like we didn't have a sewing challenge, which I was really hoping for to have. I was able to show some performance wise, but I hope that the other challenges would also learn, teach me a lot more stuff in general. So I'm just there's a whole new level to Janey now that I can speak in a language everybody understands.
For sure, for sure. And Pegana, what are you excited about most as far as showcasing Thai drag to a global stage?
Well, I was excited to not only show Thai drag, but also me
Mhm.
as a person and what I love to do. I know that I'm a performer. I know that I love to lip sync, and that's when I'm the happiest. And I love for people to be surprised
Yeah.
because I would never walk out. As you can see on Drag Race Thailand for both seasons, I've never tried to look the same way. I'm
Mhm.
always trying to surprise people. And for such a long time, people were like, get a signature look. You have to be like this. You have to have this aesthetic where people can remember you by it. I've always said, no, I want to surprise people all the time. And so I love to break out of that box, and it would be refreshing to be received for who I am, of liking that and being that.
Yeah, yeah. And Janie, of course, you think about the entire franchise across the world, and we have like all these girls across the globe. But as far as Holland, you have your sisterhood there. But what's it like building a sisterhood with all of these international queens from across the globe? Like you actually are working with them in the workroom and not just like seeing each other on Instagram.
Very true. Like it was very special because after my season, I never really got the chance to tour and go around because of the whole, situation we
Yeah,
don't really want to talk
yeah.
about. So it was very special that I got to meet people that I look up to, followed for so long. Legendary queens that we all have. So that was just a beautiful moment in general, and it made it even more special that we're all from a different country that all of these little knowledges and all of these little differences all come together and you soak up all the little tips and tricks you get around. Now you see people actually work rather than just the end result on Instagram. So
Mm.
it's just really amazing to be there. I really found myself at moments looking around and being like, So I'm so happy. I'm so proud of myself. I'm so happy to be here. I'm so honored. It's such a beautiful sisterhood.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
And final question for both of you. What is some, of course, this is something that's never been done before. This is a franchise first, but what's something that you think surprised you when you walked into the workroom and throughout the competition that you were like, wow, I didn't expect this to happen? No spoilers, but like something that you personally felt surprised about when coming in.
For me, it would be the emotional roller coaster that is a little bit crazier than your first season. At least for me, competing. I think it's for Pangina was the most extreme thing because she was hosting, obviously. So like now you go through. It's a very different way of being judged and looking at each other and judging each other, but learning from each other, but respecting each other, but you are there to win. So the whole dynamic just is different and it creates beautiful moments, don't get me wrong. But also inside of yourself, you really go from high to low and high to low and how to deal with that and how to switch your energy to keep it always positive and happy and be in control of yourself. That was a different experience in my first season.
Yeah, yeah. Thanks, Jana. What about
Well,
you?
for me, it was everything was a surprise because I've never done it before. So I didn't know literally where the cameras were. I didn't know that we were. It's basically like reality TV. I had to be educated again because I didn't know. And I didn't expect to, like you said, the emotional roller coaster. Like literally, like I cried like a lot. And it's like from happiness, from doubting myself. It can be really wild, and you have to be really strong. And I think we all came out stronger people in the best of ways because we learned so much about who we are. And a lot of the times it's not just the pressure of the competition, but expectations you have on yourself to represent your country. It's a lot.
Yeah.
And also like the expectation of your peers, the people around
Yes.
you in the room. They're looking at you what
Right.
you're doing. And it's not like, oh,
Right.
sister's doing something else and it's fine. The judges will just tell them their opinion and that's it. No, no, no. These bitches are gonna have an opinion. They will have something
Yeah.
to say. It's just it's a different dynamic.
Yeah, for sure.
Right.
Well, I thank you both for your time, and I cannot wait to see this series. Thanks so much, and enjoy the rest of your day.
Thanks for
Thank you,
having us. Have a
Trey.
good day.
Bye. Juju, I'll start with you first because you are officially the queen that has been on the most seasons in the entire franchise. Like, you have out Shangela, and we're just like living for it. So, what made you want to be a part of UK versus the world? I know you said when Ru calls you, you got to be ready.
Yeah, no, when Rue calls, you really do answer. Yeah, I have out Shangela, huh? I think I am the queen that has been in the most competitions. Don't tell RuPaul this, but I want to be on RuPaul's Drag Race more than RuPaul. That's that's right,
That's the
and I
ultimate
think I'm
goal.
gonna
That's the
get
ultimate
there.
goal.
The ultimate goal for real. Like, hey, Mama Ru, what's up? I'm gonna be in every single episode of every show and competition that you do.
Listen, and if you did it, I promise you, we would still be here for every bit of it. Like
Thank you.
you're gonna be seeing RuPaul on the runway next time. Like RuPaul, you're gonna be saying that RuPaul's gonna be coming down. And
Rue's gonna have to kick me out, honey.
listen, I love it. I love it. And Lemon, for you, what was it like getting that call, coming off of Canada's Drag Race not that long ago, having a super stellar showing, almost making top four, like very successful run. What's it like being back already and being on a global stage at that?
I mean, I feel like I'm super ready for it, I feel like on Canada's Drag Race, I had such a great run. I feel like every challenge I kind of, maybe not a sewing challenge, but every other challenge I did so well in, and I was so proud of all the work that I did. And like, even, at the end when I got eliminated, it's top 5 and the girls are fierce. So you can't really blame anything. I was so proud of everything. But the one thing that really held me back was that runway section, mama. And, the first time I got the call, Canada's Drag Race, I checked my bank balance and I'm not kidding. It said $20. And I was like, hype, let's do this. So, the bitch got it together. She figured it out. She got a couple looks together. Some of them were thrifted, live, laugh, love. But I'm like, now I was able to check my bank balance and I was like, oh, we're running this to 0 now. So I feel ready to go. I feel ready to stunt that runway. And I have Versace shoes on right now just to sit in class like we're living.
Listen. And also, what's it like being judged by RuPaul and Michelle now coming off of Canada? I mean, I know Michelle was on like one episode of Canada, but like being actually judged by RuPaul this time around.
It's crazy. I mean, truly RuPaul is a cultural icon for every person. There has never been a drag queen so commercially successful, period, in history. Maybe Pablo Vittar is up there as well, but RuPaul is someone that we all look up to and we all have for so long. And even our parents' generations are know who this person is and listen to their music. So it's very exciting to get to sit in front of someone that you just really, really admire and really respect, and to hear them, give you feedback and want to improve your art and your career, and even just to be selected by someone like that to, compete with the best of the best is beyond anything like any artist would ever want. It's amazing.
Yeah. And question for both of you: how do you think you've both grown since your last stint on Drag Race?
Oh, I'll go first. Since my last stint on Drag Race, the last thing I did before UK versus the World was RuPaul's Drag Race All Stars 5, and I had a fantastic time. Um, and we did that, uh, you know, pre today's world.
Yeah.
So I had a whole bunch of time to sit in my space alone for this entire year, and I was just looking forward to something that would add light to my life, and this competition brought that for me. So I don't know how much growth I got to do in that time, but I definitely got a lot of moments to sit in my own silence, and it helped me really like fall in love with the things that I knew I needed in my life. And competing on a drag race competition is that always.
Yeah.
I would say for me, like, it's been like a complete change, but I think, I grew up being a competitive dancer, and one thing that is very special about dance is that, professional dancers do not take a single day off. 2 days would be, way overwhelming for a professional company dancer to take off, because your body just doesn't adjust to that. And if you're working at the level of those, professional, artist athletes, it's like you really have to be on your game constantly. So the pandemic was rough for people, for everyone, obviously, but for people who specifically, worked out every day or did something physical every day, it's hard to get into that. And I think, like, for me, it was actually really nice to finally slow down, because I've been dancing every single day since I was, 14. And to sit down and think, like, okay, I can chill for a second and I can plan what I want to be, and I can plan, what's going to happen, and I don't have to be in a class today, and I don't have to go to ballet at 8:30, and I don't have to stress about what everyone's going to feel like if I'm not there, and what I'm missing. And it was like this great feeling of just like, wow, I can really sort my shit out and get my life together and order some wigs.
And what's been the experience like? Because both of you specifically had the experience of being on a season that filmed pre-pandemic, but experiencing it in real time during the pandemic, and now doing a season where you're filming it and experiencing it during a pandemic. So how do you wrap your mind about kind of this new normal? And I mean, luckily, fortunately enough, like, I guess when your seasons were both on, we were still in the mode of digital drag and like that sort of thing. And
Yeah.
thankfully, for the most part, everyone's, back as normal as we can be, but it is a new
Yeah.
normal. So what's it like experience for both of you experiencing this coming off of this season where we were like kind of all, this is the joy we found during this time was having you all on our TV.
hmm Um, Gosh, it's interesting that you bring that up actually, because I was just thinking about it. Lemon, I didn't realize that you were experiencing the same thing
Literally,
where,
exactly. I think we Canada's aired only a couple seasons after your All Stars, or a couple of weeks
it's
after your All Stars. It was the almost exact same
it's
time. So
and I like accepted that so quickly, Trey. Like I knew that whatever plans I had for 2020 wasn't gonna work, because I released music, and
Yeah.
it was all the milestone things that I wanted to do since I was a child, I did that year, and I have no regrets in that. I just know that the universe just had something different for all of us, and now that we get to do it again, I will say this: filming in a pandemic, they were so great and they were so careful, and the whole production team like made sure we were all safe, and that was the most important thing. Like, we needed to be safe in order to create this competition and in order to go on. So that was something that I saw a huge change in, where everybody was just a lot more kind. No matter how hard we were working, we just took a moment to just appreciate each other. So that was the difference for me. I think people just
Yeah.
became better versions of themselves.
I think on the same line, it's like when production companies normally hire, for a television series, they can, there's a million people that are on set. There's someone to do every little task. And I think what had to happen for us and for the pandemic was they really, really, really had to super carefully select every single person that was on set, and every single person was like completely professional, completely dedicated to this, completely, on board with what everyone wanted. And it was, a very small team, and that made it so that all of us could really know everyone. And it's really cool, being, for us, we're the talent, and sometimes we just are rolled up and rocked to a room, and, we don't even get to talk to people. So it was really cool for us to like get to meet every single person, and it's like knowing the name of the person who's like zipping up your corset is a special thing. And it was nice to really have that, connection with like the entire set.
Yeah, I bet. It definitely changed everything in more ways than one, and we're still going through it, but hopefully we're going back to normal. But I thank you both so much for your time today, and I cannot wait to see both of you all on this series. I'm literally so excited for it. But thank you so much, and enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you, Trey.
Thank you, Trey.
Bye.
Thanks, Trey.
Well, I'm super excited to chat with you both. Cheryl, I guess I'll start with you first. Was there an added amount of pressure being with the UK being the host nation? Like, it's in the title, UK versus the world. So do you think you all have had, the added pressure of like having to, defend this crown for this new series?
In all honesty, I take it as an advantage. Like, we were coming back into the home ground, the familiar place, your nan's house. You knew exactly where everything was, and it was just so comforting, reassuring that you could keep your head in the zone. And yes, there was that voice in the back of your head saying, oh, this is your home country, make sure you turn it out. But we all came back for a reason, and we wouldn't have come back if we didn't think that we were ready to compete and slay the game. So I just put my game face on, and I just went, let's represent for the UK, and let's get me back in my old workstation.
Yes. And Blue, for you, what was it like, getting the call? Because even when, Drag Race UK 1 is such an iconic series, and immediately following that season, you had fans already like, okay, 5 years down the road, whenever there can be a UK All Stars, we want all these queens on here. And then, in so much fewer years, you are already back for this series, but it being like on a global scale. So what was it feeling like, getting a call and being a part of this new series?
Well, I believe the first All Stars was after season 4 of normal Drag Race. So I assumed that we'd have it after season 4 of UK Drag Race. So I thought I had another year. I was like, oh, that's great. I have another year to like find myself and blah, 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 blah. But no, I got the call and it was like, we were wondering just if you might want to go on an all-star season. I was like, oh yeah, in the future, that would be great. They were like, no, we mean like next month. And also it's going to be worldwide, which was even more intense. I mean, I watch every season of Drag Race. I'm a massive fan. I can't get enough of Drag Race. I mean, anyone that says there's too much Drag Race, there's not. Okay, I love it.
I agree.
And yeah, so I knew what other seasons of Drag Race were going to be like they're epic. In like Holland they've got incredible fashions. Thailand, they set themselves on fire. I mean, Canada, full of massive personalities. I was intimidated, to be honest, and it took me longer than Cheryl to agree to it. She agreed to it straight away. It took me a day or two.
Straight off the bat.
Yeah. But I'm glad I did.
Yeah, yeah. How do you both think that you've, I guess, grown since your last stint on Drag Race? You know, Drag Race UK Series 1 was literally introducing this format that people love around the world, but with this, you know, UK twist on it. And it was very new. You know, you were kind of like the test round, I guess, of just throwing it out there for having this UK version of the show. But now years have passed, and how do you think you all have grown and are different now than you were in series 1?
Oh, I grew tremendously just from filming and being surrounded by so many queens that lifted me up and showed me so much more. That time period between filming and cast announcement, I was a brand new queen, and like going into season 2, I was relatively new into the game. I was 2 years into doing drag, so I was very fortunate to get on. But that showed me that people had belief in me, in my art, and my craft, which pushed me to go, okay, now you can do whatever you like with your drag. And financially, I'm very grateful for everything now that I can do with my drag and take it to that level. But also, I on season 1, I took everything on the surface. And now there are so many more layers and tones to my drag that I was just so ready to showcase that and show the growth of the whole.
Yeah.
Yeah, with me, I think it was like a confidence thing. Absolutely. Whenever I watched back season 1, I was so shy. So my main thing was to work on myself, my confidence. Am I ready to go back? And if I do I have a winner's attitude? Because you see people like Bob, Bianca, Alaska, they go in saying, I'm going to win this, and they do. So I just wanted to make sure that I had that. I'm working with Davina and Baga and Vivian and Cheryl. Really brought me out of my comfort zone and showed me like, this is how it's done. If you're going to do drag, this is how it's done. And then obviously injecting Blue into what they taught me really helped me, and money as well. Money really just elevates drag, which is, I mean, some people can do it on a budget, but when you have the funds and lots of people to help you, I mean, it is easier to always look good, you know.
Yeah, yeah. And also for both of you, you know, you have this there's, I guess this is this global Ru Girl sisterhood, but then you have, you know, the sisterhood that you all formed in series 1. But what's it been like working with other queens that you probably have maybe, you know, met occasionally before? I mean, probably not since the pandemic started, of course, but being able to have this sisterhood with queens from across the globe and, you know, be in the workroom with them and all of that. What was that experience like?
Oh, me? Okay.
Either way.
For me, I had not met a single one of them apart from Jujubee. Like, I met her whenever I was like 2 months into my drag career. So it was amazing. I mean, like, Pangina flew 20 hours to get to us over in the UK. So there was potential that I might not have ever met these people in my life, but I'm so thankful that I was able to. And with season 1, we had a real good sisterhood. We still have a group chat that we talk in quite often. And I do think that this season is going to be the same. Also, obviously, there's like time time differences and time zones. But when you go through something like Drag Race, you're just bonded for life.
Yeah, yeah.
For sure. And it was just fascinating how people navigate the space like a workroom, like seeing everybody flutter between each other and just seeing all these friendships forming, but also getting to hear about everybody's stories and whatnot. Because it's one thing hearing stories about people that lived on the same street as you and down the road from you, but hearing how like Pangina grew up and like the drag scene in Thailand and how like there's similarities and difference from the Holland scene with Janey, but more importantly, the conversations about the time that we were in and like the restrictions and how hard it was for the queens to live and work post-season in Canada. Like, it was interesting just to learn so much more about everybody.
Yeah, yeah. And lastly, without, you know, talking too much about the season, because no spoilers, but what are some things that you think may surprise fans about this season? Because this is something that's totally new. Like, we've never seen in a season like this before. It's totally brand new. So how do you think fans will be surprised and what they may enjoy about this different format?
I think the thing that what surprised me the most was how well we all got on and got each other's humor, because like I think you immediately think, oh, it's going to be set in the UK, it's going to be favored for the UK girls because it's UK references and UK this, UK that. But we were all cackling the whole time. We had lots of fun. But it wasn't always fun. There was some drama, which you're going to definitely see, because this is some big personalities and fan favorites from each international season. So it's definitely not all laughing and fun, rainbows and butterflies. Shit went down.
Yeah, what she said.
now I'm so excited to see the episode because I have to know what happened. But thank you both so much. This was such a great conversation, and I cannot wait to see UK versus the world. And I hope you both enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you so much.
Thanks,
you
Trey.
too, Trey. Thank
is that
you
your
so
real
much.
background?
No, everyone always gets confused. It's like it's a virtual backdrop, but it kind of looks like I'm in like some forest somewhere, and like the
it does
behind me, because you don't really see like the little the white space you usually see in the virtual background.
Yeah.
But
I was like, what a lovely home.
I'm just putting myself in the workroom.
Now you're just back. You're back in the work.
Why didn't you do that all day? That's so good.
And it looks like you're just right there. It looks like you're just right there. Thank you both so much, and enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you, Trey.
Bye.
Bye. So, Monique, I'll start with you first. With UK versus the world, you've entered an elite group of Drag Race queens who have been on 3 times. So 1, what was it like coming back? And 2, can we talk about this change to Mo Hart?
1, just simply, like if you get the phone call, you go, especially if you were a success the last time you were there. I mean, why not?
Yes.
I would say, what was the next question?
The change from Monique Hart to Mo Hart.
Yeah. Here you go. I have been growing as a queer individual, and just the healing of my own heart and whatnot. And so as Kevin heals, I feel like Monique is healing at the same, and I feel like for this next season of my life, I just didn't want my character's name to necessarily have a binary female, you know what I mean? Because I feel like drag is so evolved now, and so I want to try different things and express myself differently. Also, I feel like this butch man is just coming through and into that Ray that likes to play in makeup, girl, very bad. So it's really like much how Prince the artist had a evolution that is the evolution of me, Mo Hart. I just want to give Mo Hart more love, more of that grace that the Father gives us, right? So yeah,
love it. And Jimbo, for you, what was it like getting the call, coming off of Canada's Drag Race season 1, not being that too long ago? I mean, you were top 4, had a very successful run on that season. What's it like being back so soon, and also being back on not just a Canadian stage, but a global stage?
Well, it is an exciting honor to be considered an international all-star. And, like Mo said, anytime Mama Ru calls, you drop whatever you're doing, you pack your bags, and you head to that competition. And so it's just an absolute dream and an honor to be a part of this Drag Race sisterhood and family. And it's just amazing to represent Canada on the world stage. And, of course, I would have loved a little bit more time, but that's life. You always want more time. And I think it's just a really great opportunity to show the world how I evolved and changed since my first season. And I'm just really excited for the world to learn a little bit more about me and to see how I've grown. Just to sort of talk about, similar to Mo, drag is an art form, and as an artist we like to grow and evolve and to change and to shift. And so Drag Race really is this like epic boot camp where you enter in as one artist and you exit as another. And so I'm just so grateful for this journey, and I'm just so excited to keep upping my game. And yeah, it's just all so exciting.
Yeah. And UK versus the world. This is a format that's never been done before. It's totally new. You all are your first queens, so it's right that they would choose iconic queens to come back to just start something new. But in a general sense, what's something that you both think that you weren't able to accomplish on your prior season or seasons that you believe this format in UK versus the world has allowed you to do?
Go ahead, Mo.
I want you to go first. I want the first.
Okay.
You
Okay, what? Okay, what? This has allowed me to be judged by Mama Ru herself, which is the absolute dream of dreams of dreams. RuPaul has inspired me, wowed me, being, a source of curiosity ever since I was a little boy. I remember seeing Ru on the TV and going, that's a boy, that's a boy, that's a man. Like, I could do that, or, expressions of beauty and all of these things. So when you have someone that has sort of shaped your life and has helped direct your art form, to then be working with them and to be in the same room as them and to be judged by them and seen by them is just the highest honor. It's a really it's kind of surreal. It's hard to believe that it even happened. And so I think that I'm just really excited to be an honorary Ru girl, someone that's actually been judged by Ru herself and has looked into those terrifying, beautiful eyes, and it's just so exciting.
no other way to say it, bitch. Terrifying but beautiful girl.
Yeah.
Bitch, I'm serious. That's the only person that makes me nervous. You know what I mean?
Oh my
Else,
God.
What's good, honey? Honey, I flew on first class. Well, I always fly first class, but I flew standard. So sorry.
I love it.
Baby, I'm not doing it. Matthew McConaughey was right next to me. Okay, what happened? What's good,
Ooh.
Okay. Who is the lady from Eve's Bayou and she's on Greenleaf? Like both of the two leads.
Lynn Whitfield.
Yes, damn. You know what I mean? I rub shoulders with stars, girl. I'm not whatever. But when it comes to RuPaul, girl, I'd be like a little, ooh, girl. Yeah. Oh, I'd be nervous. Okay, here you go. For me, just coming back, the last 2 times I was there, I didn't win. And, so anytime you get to come back, you want to win. You want to at least try to or attempt to. So this was another chance to attempt that goal. It was beautiful to meet some people that I was fans of and didn't have the opportunity to meet or to work with because of COVID. Generally we would be on a tour together. We would have met Kiki already. So the fact that I got to meet Jimbo, I was such a fan of the BDS, Uncle Fester, blonde, orange, and red. That was the look for me, girl. That was the look. I wanted to meet that girl. It was me, girl. I was here for it. Also meet Bag of Chips, who I met before she got on, but to really kiki with her, it was just crazy. Blue Hydrangea, the list goes on and on. It was just amazing. So that's just where I'm at. It was just awesome to just be because Drag Race is the most fun you will ever have, and if there wasn't the pressure of having to go home and be eliminated, baby, you just get to be on television and do what you love to do. You know what I mean? It's no other place. You know what I mean? It's fabulous. It really is.
It's the best. It really is.
It's so fun.
And now you're truly on the Olympics of drag right now. And we are so excited to see it. Thank you both so much for your time. I really enjoyed this and I can't wait to see the series.
Yeah.
Thanks, Trey.
Good one.
Yeah, Trey.